Could Claudia Sheinbaum be linked to the prophecies of Nostradamus? What I discovered will take your breath away. Today we are going to talk about something that you cannot ignore. The predictions of some of the most renowned prophets in history, such as Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce, and Baba Vanga, have left a deep mark on the minds of many generations. His visions of the future have fascinated people around the world, and the most surprising thing is that many of these predictions seem to resonate with current events. One of the key characters of the present is Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, who has promoted transcendental changes in the country. But what if I told you that some of these changes were already predicted? We may be experiencing what these visionaries saw centuries ago. I want to invite you to join me on this fascinating journey, and of course, know your opinion. What do you think about prophecies? Do you think there is any truth to them, or are they just coincidences? I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Could Claudia Sheinbaum be the leader predicted by the great prophets? If you believe her destiny is written in the prophecies, leave a comment saying, "She is the chosen one." I want to know how many of you believe it. Throughout history, prophecies have captured the imagination of humanity. From Nostradamus to Baba Vanga, many visionaries have left predictions that, for some, seem to come true with surprising accuracy. In this video, we will analyze 10 shocking prophecies that could be related to Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico. We will explore not only the words of these prophets, but also how they might apply to current events and what lessons we can draw for our lives. One of Nostradamus's prophecies predicted that a female leader in Latin America would bring great social changes, but also periods of turbulence. Nostradamus, the most famous seer in history, wrote in his centuries about the rise of a woman in power in Latin lands. According to her predictions, this female leader would promote social reforms that would not be well received by everyone. The analysis of this prophecy seems to align with what we are seeing today with Claudia Sheinbaum, who has promoted an ambitious reform plan in areas such as the environment, transportation, and human rights. These reforms have divided Mexican society. While some celebrate Sheinbaum's efforts to move towards a more inclusive and ecological nation, others consider that these changes are too rapid or negatively affect certain economic sectors. The turbulence mentioned in Nostradamus's prophecies could also refer to the political tensions that have arisen as a result of these reforms. It is not uncommon for any major change to generate resistance, especially when traditional interests are challenged or profound transformations are implemented. New leadership approaches recommendation: if you feel impacted by the changes that Sheinbaum's management has introduced, I suggest you keep an open attitude. Significant reforms often provoke debate, but it is essential to adapt to them to take advantage of the opportunities that may arise. Evaluate how these changes can benefit you, rather than focusing only on immediate challenges. The key is to understand that social transformations, although uncomfortable at first, can open new paths to progress. Prophecy 2, Edgar Cayce spoke of a movement from the South that would change the course of history. Analysis: Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, made hundreds of predictions about the world's future. In one of his most intriguing visions, he mentioned a movement that would arise from the South and that would alter the course of history. Although Cayce did not specify a country, many have interpreted this prophecy as an allusion to the countries of Latin America. In this context, the movement from the South could be represented by the rise to power of Claudia Sheinbaum in Mexico and her growing influence both nationally and internationally. Sheinbaum has led a political transformation in Mexico, and his leadership has garnered international attention, especially on issues of climate policy and social justice. This type of leadership could be marking a milestone in the political history of Latin America. Recommendation: in times of historical changes such as those suggested by Cayce, it is crucial to stay informed and actively participate in your community, which is an effective way to be prepared for these social and political movements. Citizen participation not only allows you to better understand the changes, but also to influence them in a positive way. Don't remain a passive spectator. Get involved and be part of the change. Prophecy 3, Baba Vanga mentioned that in the coming years, a charismatic leader would fight corruption, but would face great personal challenges. Analysis: Baba Vanga, the Bulgarian mystic, predicted the emergence of a charismatic leader in a southern country who would combat corruption and face great personal challenges, including attacks from those affected by her reforms. This vision seems to reflect the situation of Claudia Sheinbaum, who has implemented reforms in Mexico, facing resistance from various sectors and attacks on her leadership. Recommendation: supporting the fight against corruption is essential. Voting for honest leaders and participating in transparency initiatives are ways to contribute to change. Prophecy 4. Nostradamus suggested that in times of a woman in power, there would be a major rift between the people and the political class. Analysis: Nostradamus predicted that under the leadership of a woman, there would be a growing division between the people and the political class, resulting in social tensions and protests. In Mexico, under the leadership of Claudia Sheinbaum, these tensions have manifested through social and political divisions. Recommendation: it is essential to strengthen relationships with those around you and maintain an open dialogue. Unity is key in times of crisis. Prophecy 5. Edgar Cayce predicted natural disturbances that would coincide with major political changes. Analysis: Edgar Cayce suggested that natural disturbances would accompany major political changes. During the administration of Claudia Sheinbaum, Mexico has experienced natural disasters such as earthquakes and hurricanes that have coincided with political changes and reforms promoted by her. Recommendation: preparing for natural disasters is everyone's responsibility. Having an emergency plan and supporting sustainability initiatives can help mitigate the impact of future disasters. Prophecy 6. Baba Vanga saw in her visions that a great female leader would unite the nation, but not without sacrifices. Analysis: Baba Vanga predicted that a female leader would unite her nation, but the process would involve sacrifices for both the leader and the people. Claudia Sheinbaum has worked to unify Mexico under a progressive agenda, although there has been resistance from certain sectors. Recommendation: reflect on the sacrifices necessary for the common good and how you can contribute positively to the process of unifying the country. Prophecy: Nostradamus noted that new leadership would bring innovation in technology, but also greater control. Analysis: Nostradamus anticipated that new leadership would introduce technological advances, although this would imply tighter control over society. Claudia Sheinbaum has promoted technology in areas such as education and security. Although these innovations have raised concerns about privacy and individual rights, it is crucial to take advantage of technological opportunities and be informed about how personal data is handled. Edgar Cayce predicted that in times of crisis, spirituality would be reborn under the leadership of a woman. During Sheinbaum's presidency, in a context of global crises, many people have found refuge in spirituality. This renaissance not only encompasses religion, but also greater awareness of the environment and personal development. It is advisable to spend time strengthening the spiritual connection, whether through meditation or reflection. Baba Vanga predicted that a woman from the South would face internal betrayal, which resonates with the experience of Sheinbaum, who has faced disagreements within her party and criticism from allies. It is essential to maintain principles and support leaders who represent each person's values, both in politics and in personal life. Nostradamus also anticipated a great energetic transformation under the leadership of a woman. Sheinbaum has promoted the use of renewable energy in Mexico, and this change can be interpreted both in a literal sense and in a symbolic change towards environmental awareness. Adopting sustainable practices, such as reducing energy consumption and recycling, can have a significant impact on the future of the planet. These prophecies offer an interesting vision about the present and future of Mexico under Sheinbaum's leadership. Although prophecies may suggest a predetermined destiny, each person has the power to influence their own future. Accepting that change is a constant in life will allow you to adapt more easily and take advantage of opportunities that arise. Change, although sometimes uncomfortable, is also a door to personal and collective growth. Actively participate in your community. One of the most effective ways to face changes in society is to actively get involved in your community. This not only allows you to stay aware of what is happening, but also offers you the opportunity to positively influence the environment around you. Participating in community activities, discussion groups, or even voting in local elections are ways to help make social changes fair and equitable. Strengthen your spiritual connection in times of uncertainty. Many people find comfort in spirituality, no matter what your belief or practice. Strengthening your spiritual connection can give you a sense of peace and purpose, whether through meditation, prayer, yoga, or simply spending time in personal reflection. An active spiritual life will help you maintain emotional and mental balance when you face difficulties. Plus, spirituality gives you a broader perspective and reminds you that you are part of something bigger than yourself. Prepare for the unexpected. Life is unpredictable, and being prepared for the unexpected can make a big difference in how you deal with crises. Having an emergency plan for both family situations and natural or economic events is essential. Organize an emergency kit, establish evacuation routes, and make sure you have basic resources at home, such as food, water, and medicine. This preparation will not only give you confidence, but will also allow you to remain calm in the midst of any crisis. Find out about your rights in a world that is changing. It is essential that you are aware of your rights, whether in the workplace, civil sphere, or in relation to the use of technology and privacy. Being well-informed will allow you to make the right decisions and protect yourself in complicated situations. Stay up to date with the laws and regulations that influence your daily life, and do not hesitate to defend your rights when necessary. A well-informed citizen is an empowered citizen. Stay calm in moments of social tension. It is easy to give in to fear or panic when social tensions rise, whether for political, economic, or cultural reasons. However, calm is a valuable tool in times of chaos. Learning to control your emotions and maintain serenity will allow you to act more rationally and effectively. When you feel tensions escalating, take a deep breath, analyze the situation objectively, and avoid impulsive responses. Remember that self-control is key to navigating difficult times. Incorporate sustainable practices into your daily life. Sustainability is not just a trend, it is an urgent need for the future. Implementing sustainable habits not only benefits the environment, but also makes you more aware of the impact of your consumption. You can start with small steps, such as reducing the use of plastics, opting for renewable energy, recycling, and supporting local products. By making these changes, you contribute to a healthier planet and align yourself with the global energy transition that many leaders are promoting. Reflect on the sacrifices necessary for the common good. In times of change, we are often asked to make sacrifices for the collective well-being. These sacrifices may involve time, resources, or personal comforts. Reflecting on what you are willing to give up for a better future will help you make more conscious decisions. Although sacrifices may seem difficult, in the long term they can generate benefits for both you and society. Do it with purpose and conviction, knowing that you are contributing to a collective effort. Take time for daily introspection. In a world full of distractions, it is vital to set aside time to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and emotions. This helps you maintain mental clarity and align your decisions with your values and goals. Introspection can be as simple as taking a few minutes at the end of the day to meditate, journal, or be silent. This practice will allow you to better manage stress and help you know yourself more deeply. Support leaders who reflect your values. In times of social and political change, it is important to support those who represent your principles and worldview. This not only applies to political figures, but also to community, business, or spiritual leaders. By supporting people who promote justice, transparency, and common well-being, you contribute to the creation of a more equitable and sustainable society. Evaluate leaders by their actions, not just their words, and actively support them by voting, participating, or spreading their messages. In summary, we have explored 10 prophecies that could be connected to the leadership of Claudia Sheinbaum through the words of great visionaries such as Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce, and Baba Vanga. These predictions offer valuable lessons on how to deal with the changes that are already occurring. Although some of these prophecies may seem disturbing, let us not forget that we always have the power to make positive decisions and actions that improve our lives and the lives of those around us. The future is not predetermined. It is up to us to harness the energy of these times to grow, adapt, and strengthen our relationships and communities. Change can be challenging, but it also provides opportunities for renewal and transformation. Do not fear the future, since it is in our hands to shape it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more mystical and spiritual content, and share your thoughts in the comments. If you believe that the prophecies are already beginning to be fulfilled, right, the future is here. And if Nostradamus's predictions shocked you, don't miss what Padre Pio said. Change may seem like an unstoppable force, especially in times of great social and political transformations. But within that change, there are hidden opportunities, and that is where our power lies. As we move through this era of technological innovations and adjustments to traditional structures, it is essential that we prepare to face the unknown proactively and with an open mind. During Claudia Sheinbaum's administration, we have seen how reforms in various sectors, from the environment to human rights, have sparked intense debates. Many of these reforms, although necessary for the country's advancement, have generated both support and resistance. On the one hand, there are those who see progressive policies as a door to a more inclusive and sustainable future. On the other hand, there are those who perceive these transformations as a threat to existing structures and their way of life. However, it is crucial to understand that progress is almost always accompanied by moments of friction. The challenge is how we respond to this friction, how we participate in the process of change, and how we choose to position ourselves for the opportunities that arise. In this context, it is essential not only to know our laws and rights, but also to actively engage in the movements and discussions that shape the new social order. Community participation has become a powerful tool for those seeking to influence the direction their societies take. For example, in many cities in Mexico, communities have begun to organize to implement local solutions to global problems, such as energy sustainability and climate justice. These initiatives not only show the capacity for collective action, but are also a reflection of the global trend towards the decentralization of power, where local communities play a more relevant role in decision-making. Furthermore, climate change and technological innovations are intertwined in ways we often don't fully understand. Sheinbaum has promoted a green agenda in Mexico, promoting the use of renewable energy and the reduction of carbon emissions, in an effort to align the country with global environmental goals. But these technological innovations, as we have seen in the prophecy of Nostradamus, are not without challenges. With progress comes control, and technology can be a double-edged sword. The implementation of advanced digital tools in areas such as education and public safety has opened a necessary discussion about privacy and the management of personal data. To what extent are we willing to sacrifice our privacy for the promise of a more secure or efficient future? And how can we ensure that these technologies are used ethically and responsibly? This debate about technology and control is not new, but under the leadership of a figure like Sheinbaum, it takes on new relevance in a Latin American context, where digital surveillance and data collection are areas of growing concern. In cities like Mexico City, the expansion of the use of security cameras and facial recognition systems has raised alarm bells among activists and citizens who fear that these tools will be used to limit civil liberties or repress political dissent. It's a scenario that reflects Nostradamus' warnings about control under new leadership. However, it also offers an opportunity to establish a dialogue about the importance of regulating these technologies in a transparent way, ensuring that they serve the common good and not to concentrate power in the hands of a few. In the midst of this turbulence, Edgar Cayce predicted that spirituality would be reborn in times of crisis. This spiritual rebirth does not necessarily manifest itself religiously, but rather in a collective search for meaning and purpose. In recent years, we have seen how global crises, from pandemics to natural disasters, have prompted many people to rethink their relationship with the world and with themselves. During Sheinbaum's presidency, marked by the effects of climate change and political tensions, more and more people are turning to spirituality as a refuge and a form of personal resistance. This awakening is not only reflected in the increase in interest in practices such as meditation and yoga, but also in a growing focus on collective well-being, in the need to build a more equitable and supportive society. The connection between spirituality and community action has strengthened. Many people have begun to see environmental sustainability as an extension of their spiritual commitment, recognizing that taking care of the planet is also a way of taking care of oneself and future generations. This movement towards greater environmental awareness is not only a local phenomenon, but a global one. Leaders like Sheinbaum have embraced this vision, pushing policies that promote renewable energy and reduce dependence on fossil fuels. A change that, as we have seen, also has profound political and economic implications. However, these reforms have not come without obstacles. As Baba Vanga predicted, a charismatic leader from the South would face internal betrayals, and Sheinbaum has been no exception. Within his own party and circle of allies, there have been disagreements and criticisms that threaten to weaken unity around his leadership. This situation highlights the fragile nature of political power and the need to maintain a firm foundation of principles and values in times of adversity. Sheinbaum's ability to confront these challenges not only defines his presidency, but also reflects a broader lesson about resilience and adaptability in politics. In an ever-changing world where yesterday's certainties may become obsolete tomorrow, the ability to remain steadfast in the face of adversity and be flexible in the face of evolving circumstances is more crucial than ever. This is an echo of what great visionaries, from Nostradamus to Baba Vanga, have suggested over the centuries. History is not just a record of what has happened, but a guide for navigating uncertain futures. So, as we face these turbulent times, each of us has a role to play. We can choose to be passive spectators or active actors in creating a future that reflects our deepest values and our boldest hopes. Active participation in our community and in the political process is not only a right, it is a responsibility. Every decision we make, every leader we support, and every policy we advocate shapes the legacy we leave for future generations. By reflecting on the prophecies and their implications for our contemporary reality, we can find guidance and motivation to act. They remind us that although we cannot predict the future with certainty, we have the power to shape it with our actions. This is the time for each of us to contribute to a broader dialogue about how we want our society to develop, how we can confront the environmental, technological, and social challenges before us. In conclusion, Claudia Sheinbaum's leadership and the prophecies of historical figures invite us to consider not only the power of prediction, but also the power of human purpose. As we navigate these complex and often bewildering times, lessons from the past can illuminate our path to the future, reminding us of the importance of consistency, integrity, and conviction in our lives and leadership. We invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more content that explores the intersections between history, politics, and prophecies that shape our world. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this deep exploration and comment below what you thought of the story. What have you learned from these narratives? Do you see these prophecies reflected in current events? Your opinion is invaluable, and the conversation we generate here is a step toward a richer understanding of our past and a more informed and conscious approach to our future. Together, we can learn from the lessons of the past to build a more thoughtful present and a more promising future. We welcome your comments, and don't forget to share this video to help others understand the importance of our shared history and the predictions that may already be manifesting. Thank you for being part of this community and contributing to a meaningful discussion.